Welcome back to another exciting episode where we uncover the hidden treasures that might be sitting right in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1977 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel. This is not just any ordinary 5-cent coin, it's a rare collectible that could be worth as much as $70,233 today. Yes, you heard that right. A nickel that most people would overlook could turn out to be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So, if you've got a jar of old nickels sitting around, this might be the perfect time to check them carefully because you might be holding onto a small fortune without even realizing it. Before we get into the details of how this coin became so valuable, let's talk about the background of the Jefferson nickel. The Jefferson nickel was first introduced in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel. Designed by artist Felix Schlag, the obverse side of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse side, you'll find Monticello, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia, which remains one of the most iconic coin designs in U.S. history. Now, fast forward to 1977, a year that most collectors wouldn't immediately associate with extreme rarity. Over 585 million Jefferson nickels were struck that year at the Philadelphia Mint, and that's where the story of the no-mint marked nickel begins. You see, in 1977, coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint didn't carry a mint mark at all, which was completely normal for that era. So, technically speaking, all Philadelphia nickels from that year have no mint mark. But what makes some of these 1977 no-mint marked nickels so valuable has to do with condition, errors, and striking quality. The first factor that affects value is condition, something collectors call the grade of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect, flawless coin showing absolutely no wear even under magnification. Most nickels in circulation have gone through years of handling, resulting in scratches, dull surfaces, or worn details. However, if you happen to find a 1977 nickel that looks nearly brand new, with full steps visible on Monticello, known as a full steps nickel, you could be holding a coin worth thousands. The term full steps refers to the staircase on the reverse side of the Jefferson nickel. On a perfectly struck coin, you can count all 6 steps leading up to Monticello without any breaks or smudges. These coins are exceptionally rare because even minor imperfections during minting could blur those lines. A 1977 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel graded as full steps by PCGS or NGC in pristine condition can easily command prices over $10,000 to $70,000 at auction. The reason? Perfection and rarity combined, 2 magic words in the world of coin collecting. Now, let's talk about the fascinating world of mint errors. The kind of mistakes that can make a regular nickel turn into a valuable collectible. Some 1977 Jefferson nickels are known to have off-center strikes, where part of the design is missing because the coin wasn't properly aligned in the minting press. Others show die cracks, doubling, or misaligned dies, all of which can significantly increase their value. For example, an off-center 1977 nickel that still shows Jefferson's face and most of the lettering could fetch hundreds, or even thousands of dollars depending on how dramatic the error is. Another rare and interesting variety is the doubled die error. This occurs when the coin's design is accidentally impressed twice onto the die, creating a visible doubling on parts of the design, usually on Jefferson's eye, nose, or the lettering such as Liberty and the date. 1977. If you spot any signs of doubling, don't spend that coin. It might be worth a fortune. These double die errors are rare and sought after by collectors because they are essentially minting accidents that were never supposed to leave the mint. Now let's talk about why the 1977 Jefferson nickel has become such a hot item among collectors in recent years. Interest in mid to late 20th century nickels has been growing rapidly as more collectors realize how difficult it is to find coins in high grade from those years. While earlier nickels from the 1940s and 1950s have been studied and collected for decades, coins from the 1970s are only now gaining appreciation for their scarcity in pristine condition. Many 1977 nickels were used heavily in commerce and few were saved in mint state, making those that survived in near-perfect condition incredibly valuable. In auctions, a top-graded 1977 no-mint marked Jefferson nickel with full steps has sold for prices ranging from $10,000 to as high as $70,233. The exact price depends on the grading company, the coin's luster, strike quality, and visual appeal. Some collectors are even willing to pay a premium for coins with unusual toning, those beautiful rainbow-like colors caused by oxidation over decades. When a coin displays both rarity and beauty, it becomes a must-have for serious collectors. If you're wondering how to check whether your 1977 nickel might be worth something, here's what you should do. First, examine the coin under good lighting, preferably with a magnifying glass. Look closely at Jefferson's portrait. Check for sharp details around the hair, the cheekbone, and the lettering. Then, flip it over and look at Monticello. Can you see all 6 steps clearly? If yes, congratulations, you might have a full steps nickel. Even partial steps can make the coin valuable, but full, unbroken steps are what collectors dream about. Next, check the overall condition of the coin. Does it have a bright, shiny surface with minimal scratches or blemishes? If so, you're looking at a higher grade coin that could be worth grading by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Professional grading is important because it authenticates the coin's condition and adds credibility to its value. A coin in a certified holder will always fetch a higher price than one that isn't graded. Another thing to pay attention to is any signs of doubling or errors. If you notice something unusual, letters that appear doubled, a shifted design, or cracks on the coin's surface, take detailed photos and get an expert opinion. Coin forums, local coin dealers, or professional graders can help you determine whether your coin has a genuine mint error. Collectors also love coins with good eye appeal, meaning coins that simply look stunning. Some 1977 Jefferson nickels have developed natural toning over the years, with hues of blue, gold, or purple. These coins, especially when uncirculated, are often more desirable than plain ones because of their unique appearance. You might be asking, why would anyone pay over $70,000 for a nickel? The answer lies in supply and demand. There are millions of collectors and only a handful of surviving high-grade examples. When rarity meets high demand, prices skyrocket. It's the same principle that applies to classic cars, rare stamps, or vintage watches. The Jefferson Nickel series has always been popular among collectors because it's affordable to start with and easy to build a set. But within that simplicity lies hidden treasure. The 1977 no-mint marked nickel represents one of those rare moments when a common-looking coin can hold extraordinary value due to its condition, strike quality, and rarity in top grades. If you're someone who enjoys hunting for coins, don't overlook your pocket change or those jars of coins passed down from family members. Many people unknowingly hold valuable coins that have been sitting untouched for decades. Take a closer look. You might just find that elusive 1977 nickel that could change your financial future. Remember, even if your coin isn't worth thousands, coin collecting is a rewarding hobby that connects us to history. Every coin tells a story, from the year it was minted to the hands it has passed through. The Jefferson nickel, especially from 1977, captures a fascinating period in American coinage where design, technology, and minting precision came together in an era that many people now look back on with nostalgia. So, before you spend another nickel, take a closer look. The next time you come across a shiny 1977 nickel without a mint mark, inspect it carefully, because it might not just be worth 5 cents. It could be the key to unlocking $70,000 or more. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep exploring, keep collecting, and keep your eyes open for hidden treasures. You never know when a small coin in your change could turn out to be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. Until next time, happy collecting and may your next coin find be a life-changing one. Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and collectors from around the world. In today's video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1959 mint marked Jefferson nickel coin, a small 5-cent piece that has become a big deal in the world of rare and valuable coins. Believe it or not, One of these nickels recently made headlines for its incredible current market value of $41,928. Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth only 5 cents when it was minted can now be worth as much as a luxury car, and today we're going to explore exactly why that is, what makes this coin so special, and how you might be able to spot one in your own collection. Before we jump into the details, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss another video about rare and valuable coins that could be sitting right in your pocket change. Now, let's get started with the history and details that make the 1959 RARE Jefferson Nickels so extraordinary. The Jefferson Nickels series first began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel, and it featured the portrait of America's third president, Thomas Jefferson, designed by Felix Schlag. Schlag's design became one of the most recognized in U.S. coinage, with Jefferson's left-facing profile on the obverse and the Monticello building, Jefferson's famous home, on the reverse. Over the years, the design underwent minor adjustments, but the basic look remained the same for decades. The 1959 RARE Mint Mark nickel was produced at the Denver Mint, which struck millions of these coins that year. However, not all 1959 RARE nickels are created equal, and the key to their value lies in their condition, rarity of errors, and specific die characteristics. In 1959, the Denver Mint produced over 160 million Jefferson nickels, so at first glance, it doesn't sound like this coin would be rare. However, what collectors have discovered is that a small number of these coins were struck using improperly prepared dies, resulting in several types of mint errors that make them extremely valuable. Some examples include double die errors, weak strike varieties, and full step specimens on the Monticello building. The combination of a high-quality strike and preserved mint condition can skyrocket the value of these coins into the tens of thousands of dollars. Let's talk about the obverse of the coin. On the front side, you'll find the profile of Thomas Jefferson facing left, with the word Liberty to the right, followed by the date 1959. The mint mark D, standing for Denver, appears on the reverse side to the right of Monticello. Collectors pay close attention to the sharpness of Jefferson's hair, the clarity of the inscriptions, and any signs of doubling, which can indicate a rare double die error. If you have a magnifying glass, it's worth taking a closer look at these details. Moving to the reverse, the Monticello design is where one of the most important value factors comes into play. The 5 steps at the base of Monticello, known as the full steps feature, are critical in determining value. A Jefferson nickel with full, sharp, and uninterrupted steps is considered a full steps coin and is highly desirable among collectors. The problem is that most 1959 RARE nickels were struck with worn dies, resulting in weak details, especially on the steps. Finding one in mint state with full steps and original luster is extremely rare, and that's why such coins can command prices up to $41,928 at auction. Now let's discuss why condition is everything when it comes to these coins. Coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC use the Sheldon scale to rate coins from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS60 or higher is considered uncirculated, but to reach top value, you're looking for grades like MS65, MS66, or even MS67 with full steps designation. A 1959 RARE Jefferson nickel graded MS67 with full steps has sold for over $41,928 because of its nearly flawless condition and rarity. Even lower grade examples, if they display full steps or strong strikes, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the market demand. So how can you tell if you have a valuable 1959 RARE nickel? First, examine the mint mark. The D should be cleanly struck and not show signs of repunching or distortion. Some rare varieties have been found with repunched mint marks, known as RPMs, where the D appears doubled or slightly offset from its original position. These varieties are very collectible and can significantly increase a coin's worth. Next, examine the strike quality on both sides of the coin. A strong, sharp strike with visible hair details on Jefferson's portrait and clear steps on the Monticello is a good sign you may have something special. Use a bright light and magnification to check for any doubling in the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust, Liberty," or E pluribus unum. A visible double die on these areas can make your coin extremely valuable to collectors who specialize in mint errors. Another key factor is luster. Coins that have been well preserved and show original mint luster will always command higher prices than dull or circulated examples. A coin that has been kept in a holder or collection without exposure to the elements often retains that beautiful, shiny finish that collectors look for. It's also important to understand how rarity affects demand. Even though millions of 1959 D nickels were minted, only a tiny fraction remain in high-grade condition with full steps or unique errors. That small percentage is what drives up the price, making these coins highly sought after. You might be wondering how these coins go from pocket change to $41,000. The answer lies in professional grading and auction sales. When collectors or investors believe they have a top-quality coin, they send it to grading services like PCGS or NGC. These experts authenticate the coin, determine its grade, and seal it in a tamper-proof holder. Once certified, the coin can be listed for sale in major auctions or online marketplaces where serious collectors bid competitively for the finest examples. For instance, one of the most famous auction sales involved a 1959 D Jefferson nickel graded MS-67 with full steps, which fetched $41,928 due to its perfect condition, blazing luster, and sharp details. The rarity of finding such a coin in that state cannot be overstated. Most nickels from 1959 D that you find today will show wear, scratches, or dullness, meaning they're worth only face value. But the exceptional ones, the pristine examples that have survived untouched for over 60 years, are the ones that bring record-breaking prices. So if you're someone who enjoys coin hunting, start checking your change, coin rolls, or inherited coin collections. You never know when a 1959 D nickel could appear. The thrill of discovering a rare coin is like striking gold, and even if your coin doesn't reach the $40,000 mark, finding one worth a few hundred or $1,000 can still be an exciting reward. Let's also take a moment to appreciate the historical context of the coin. In 1959, America was entering an era of innovation and optimism. It was the year Alaska and Hawaii became states, and the U.S. was in the midst of the Cold War. Coins from this period reflect the craftsmanship and spirit of the time. The Jefferson nickel had already been in production for over 2 decades and was a symbol of American stability. Yet, despite its everyday use, some of these nickels would later become treasures for those who recognize their rarity. Collectors today often seek out the 1959 D nickel as part of completing the Jefferson nickel series, which spans from 1938 to the present. To build a complete set with high-grade coins is no small task, especially when certain years like 1959 D have such elusive full-step examples. That's why dedicated collectors will pay top dollar to fill that gap in their set. If you're serious about collecting or selling, remember to handle your coins carefully. Always hold them by the edges and avoid touching the surfaces, as fingerprints can permanently damage the coin's luster. Store them in acid-free holders or protective flips, and keep them away from humidity and temperature changes. A well-preserved coin today could be worth even more in the future as the market continues to grow. In summary, the 1959 D mint marked Jefferson nickel might look like an ordinary 5-cent coin, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth over $41,928. Its value comes from a combination of factors: its grade, strike quality, full steps designation, mint errors, and overall eye appeal. While most 1959 D nickels are common, the rare gems are what make the hunt so exciting. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip for all collectors and treasure hunters watching. Welcome back everyone to another exciting video on our channel where we explore the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you love collecting coins or are just curious about how certain coins can turn into treasures worth thousands of dollars, then you're in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the story of a modern coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike. The 2020 D mint marked Jefferson nickel, a seemingly ordinary 5-cent coin that has reached a jaw-dropping current market value of $82,903. Yes, you heard that right, over $82,000 for a nickel that many people have in their pocket change without even realizing it. before we get into the details, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss out on discovering coins that could make you rich. Every week, we bring you the latest information on the most valuable and collectible coins in circulation. Now, let's jump right into this amazing 2020 Jefferson Nickels story and see why this coin is worth so much money today. The Jefferson Nickels series has been around since 1938, featuring the image of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, designed by Felix Schlag. Over the years, millions of these coins have been minted, but some stand out because of minting errors, unique conditions, or rare variations. The 2020 Mint Mark nickel is one of those rare gems that has captured the attention of coin enthusiasts across the globe. So, what makes the 2020 nickel so valuable? First, let's start with its basic details. The coin was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the right side of Jefferson's portrait. It's made primarily of copper and nickel, with a total weight of 5 grams. However, what really makes certain examples of this coin worth tens of thousands of dollars are the unique minting errors and exceptional conditions that make them stand out from the millions of others produced that year. One of the most notable characteristics found in the rare 2020 Jefferson Nickels is the full step strike on the reverse side of the coin, which features Monticello, Jefferson's home. The term, full steps, refers to the clearly defined lines at the base of Monticello. Only perfectly struck coins show all 5 or 6 steps completely visible and unbroken. Because of how hard it is to find these perfect strikes, collectors are willing to pay huge premiums for them. In addition to the full steps rarity, certain 2020 nickels have also been found with die errors, such as double die obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, and die cracks. These minting errors occur during the production process and can significantly increase a coin's value. For example, a 2020 nickel with a strong double die on Jefferson's portrait, especially around his eye, lips, or the word liberty, can fetch thousands of dollars depending on its condition. Another key factor that makes the 2020 Jefferson Nickels so valuable is its pristine condition. Coins that have been graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC and received a mint state rating of MS67 or higher are extremely rare. Only a handful of these exist in the world, and collectors are eager to pay top dollar to own one. In fact, one of the highest graded 2020 Jefferson Nickels recently sold for an astonishing $82,903, making it one of the most expensive nickels in modern U.S. coin history. Now, let's talk about how you can identify if you have one of these rare nickels. Start by carefully examining both sides of the coin under good lighting or using a magnifying glass. On the obverse, look for a sharp, well-defined image of Jefferson with clear details in his hair, eye, and cheek area. The word Liberty should be crisp, and the date, 2020, should be perfectly aligned. Next, check the reverse side. Pay close attention to Monticello, especially the steps at the base. If you can see all the steps clearly without any breaks or blurring, you might have what's called a full steps example, which could dramatically increase the coin's value. If your coin appears to be in uncirculated condition with minimal wear or scratches, it's worth getting it professionally graded. Even minor differences in condition can mean the difference between a few dollars and tens of thousands of dollars. For example, a 2020 nickel graded MS65 might be worth around $50 to $100, while the same coin graded MS67 or MS68 with full steps could be worth thousands, or even up to the current record value of $82,903. So, where can you find these valuable nickels? The best part is that they are still in circulation. Many people have found them in rolls from banks, pocket change, or even through coin roll hunting. Searching through nickel rolls is a fun and potentially profitable hobby that many collectors enjoy. It's always exciting when you come across a coin that looks sharper, shinier, or slightly different from the others. It might just be your ticket to thousands of dollars. Now, let's take a moment to look at the history behind the Jefferson nickel itself and why this series continues to attract collectors even after more than 8 decades. The design of the Jefferson nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938. Felix Schlag's design was selected for its simple yet elegant portrayal of Jefferson on the obverse and his Monticello home on the reverse. Over the years, minor changes have been made to the design, but the coin has largely remained the same, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coin history. In 2004 and 2005, the U.S. Mint introduced a special Westward Journey nickel series to commemorate the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition. However, by 2006, the traditional Monticello reverse design returned, with a new, more modernized portrait of Jefferson. The 2020 D nickel belongs to this modern design era, yet it still holds a timeless connection to America's coinage legacy. Collectors love Jefferson nickels for their history, design, and the thrill of discovering rare errors and high-grade examples. The 2020 D nickel is no exception. Its incredible market value demonstrates how even modern coins can become highly desirable treasures. As the years go by and fewer perfect examples remain in circulation, the value of these coins is expected to rise even more. Another fascinating thing to note about the 2020 D nickel is the attention it has received at major coin auctions. Some of these nickels have appeared at prestigious auctions and surprised everyone with record-breaking prices. Collectors from around the world compete fiercely for these coins because of their rarity, perfect condition, and strong market demand. For instance, one MS-68 Full Steps 2020 D Jefferson nickel sold for nearly $83,000, setting a new benchmark for modern nickels. Experts predict that as coin grading technology improves and more collectors focus on modern U.S. coins, prices for top-quality examples like the 2020 D nickel will continue to climb. So if you have a 2020 D nickel, take a moment to check its condition carefully. You might be holding a small piece of modern history worth a fortune. Let's also talk about some tips for preserving your coins if you think you might have something valuable. Always handle coins by their edges to avoid leaving fingerprints or oils on the surface. Store them in a cool, dry place and avoid cleaning them, as cleaning can actually reduce their value. If you plan to get your coin graded, make sure to store it in a protective holder or flip to prevent scratches or further damage. Coin collecting isn't just about making money, it's also about preserving history and enjoying the thrill of discovery. The 2020 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel is a perfect example of how everyday objects can hold incredible value. It's a reminder that rare treasures can be found in the most unexpected places, even in your loose change. So, the next time you get some nickels back as change, take a closer look. You might just find that rare 2020 D Jefferson nickel hiding among them. Remember, patience, attention to detail, and a little bit of luck can go a long way in coin collecting. To wrap things up, the 2020 D Mint Mark Jefferson nickel is truly one of the standout coins of the modern era. With a current market value of $82,903, it proves that not only old coins but even recent ones can become valuable collectibles. Whether it's the full step strike, minting errors, or pristine uncirculated condition, each detail adds to the coin's rarity and desirability. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the story of the 2020 D Jefferson nickel and want to learn more about other rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your change, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends who love collecting coins or treasure hunting. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our new videos on valuable coins worth thousands, or even millions, of dollars.